Yeah. Also, you can tell.
Start?
Yeah. Sorry.
Can we start the round?
Yeah. So.
Actually, right.
Actually, you also tell because Todd has like thicker arms than Ryan does. I know that's a really weird thing to say, but yeah.
So that way we can tell.
Yeah. So we're ready to start right now. So you're going to have the 75 minutes for this round because it is, of course, the top cut. So it's going to be. Yeah, going to have full time to actually play out this series. It's going to be great.
Let's see if I can change the countdown here from 50 to what the fuck? Nah.
How to control like changing the countdown here.
Well, maybe we do have to. No, that's the wrong
that's
timer.
50. That's not right. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. We'll just try and get this fixed quickly.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep, there we are. I found it. 75. So. No, 15. What the fuck? Guys, sorry. We'll be right back.
Maybe just, we can do 1 hour and 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay, we got it. I think we got it.
Yeah.
So that should be it, right? No, right. Yeah, that's it.
That should be fine. So.
Fuck this. Oh, sorry. I
no, Philip, no.
So I mean.
No,
do we actually need a timer?
It's fine. We can just leave it as is because what will probably happen is it'll probably count down to 0 and then like go back to 60 if that makes sense. So it'll still show the correct time.
Yeah, probably.
But also we're missing the game, so
yeah. So let's just correct that. Yeah. Obviously, right now we are in top 8 already.
Yep.
This is top 8. And we have Todd against Ryan, and their scores are probably they don't matter anymore.
I think we'll just hide them, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Bam.
So it is 1-1 if not correct. So they haven't finished that quickly. So it is 0-0 at this point. It looks like
the first game.
So it looks like Ryan went first. Tasha Psychic and played an end and passed, so not an amazing start from him. Whereas Todd has a Bridget, so already much better.
Yeah, usually you want to attach to the Drampas as soon as you can in this matchup. They are actually the only attackers that are doing something in the mirror match. However, Ryan is also playing the Zygarde. Todd is not, so Zygarde might come up for Ryan in this matchup as well.
Yeah, this will be a big factor, I think.
However, he wasn't able to attach to either, only to Trubbish, so that's a suboptimal first turn for him. While Todd is opening with as you said, the Bridget from hand, while opening with the Tabulator, so he can get his Drampas out already. Of course, he wants to attach an energy to the Drampa too, but I'm sure he wouldn't have played the Bridget if he had other options. And if you didn't have any energies. So.
Yeah. Normally, it's always a trickier Bridget because it is such an amazing support to turn 1, but sometimes for tempo you just have to stick them more, even though you don't want to, especially if, like you said, you're missing an energy, because getting out an energy attachment every single turn, especially in a deck with no energy acceleration, is so important because falling behind can be the difference between winning and losing. So, yeah, I'm sure Todd does have an energy in hand which he'll be able to attach. And Oddly's got a Float Stone, and there's the Rainbow, so yeah. It's so funny, like already just from that attachment alone, Todd is already in a really good position. It seems mad to say that just one energy attachment, but because he got it on a Drampa, it's a Rainbow as well.
Yeah. He got the first attachment on the Drampa, but right now Ryan actually decides to license the Drampa, and I'm not sure if he's actually going for an Acid Spray right now.
He is.
Oh,
and there's a Heads.
Acid Spray Heads. That's big. If it was Tails, he would have just gotten knocked out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he has any more options.
No, and fair play to Ryan for doing that, because it's very easy when you're in a bad situation like that to say, oh, whatever, pass. But noticing the Acid Spray and actually getting a really important head might actually save him, when otherwise he might have lost straight away.
Yeah, it's true. Definitely did the best in a bad situation, which is also what makes a good player.
Couldn't agree more. Going back to Todd's side, we do see he has another Lele which he's benched, and one that's tagged for a Sycamore there. Obviously not one to end Ryan out of a terrible hand like he probably has. And
So we'll see if he has to discard any important resources with the Sycamore. I mean, usually you want to go for them because you don't want to discard items in this matchup. But maybe now, because obviously you're not playing the end, that would be just bad. He maybe has to discard some items with the Sycamore, and that will be interesting to see.
yeah, maybe. But you see a field blur from
So
Todd's side
a
as
rescue
well.
stretcher gun and actually an N also. So there's 2 items in the discard pile for Todd, I think. Also a third and a fourth items on the field, so those are also relevant because both players are playing 2 field lower.
Indeed, and it looks like very nicely. It looks like both Todd and Ryan are keeping track of items for us using the dice there, so you'll be able to see exactly what's going on with the trash lunge damage, which is very nice of them.
Yeah. So now Courts just needs to re-establish his board, attaching to the bench. Nick's just going somewhere for a second. He'll be right back. Don't worry, guys. So Todd's just attached to the bench Drampa, obviously. He doesn't want to attach to the active and run the risk of getting hit by an acid spray again. So looks like Ryan didn't join to anything, just had to acid spray yet another time. And now I think Todd can just attach a DC to his Drampa if he has that and knock out the Trubbish right away.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a huge advantage for Todd at this point, even though the game is still in its tracks.
Yeah, I'm back after I just went to get some water quickly. So have I missed much? It doesn't look like it from what I can see, but all I can see is more of the same. Todd setting up and Ryan not doing much of anything.
Yeah, Ryan just attacked with acid spray.
Right,
not doing anything at all. Yeah.
Wow. Now, you see, it's weird for this. Unlike say in Swiss rounds, because you have 75 minutes in the top cut rounds, it may be worth just like waiting a little bit longer to see if maybe you can pull off a win. I mean, obviously this is fairly unfavoured, but you're not as pressured to save time as you would be in the Swiss rounds. So maybe something crazy happens and you can.
That's true.
That's why Ryan isn't conceding now, basically.
Yeah, you might not see it in the timer, but we're actually playing 75 minutes best of 3 and only 5 minutes have passed right now, so Ryan doesn't need to scoop right away. He can just, as Nick already said, you can just play out a few more turns. But what is actually big right here is that Todd was able to draw into his third Folk Stone, and he has already searched out his Garbotoxin Garbodor to limit Ryan's outs, and now he can activate Garbotoxin if he so chooses.
And wow, yeah, that's if that doesn't almost seal it for Todd, I'm not sure like what would, that's just. Oh, is that?
That's a big wheel.
Yeah, that's a big wheel. I was wondering what but it's an interesting GX marker.
Yeah, that seems to be Todd's GX marker.
Is that one of those metal coins from the old Fiend decks? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
That's really cool. But yeah, big wheel from Todd since he can't get the KO, and again he knows that Ryan is unlikely to be able to stop Todd from keeping this hand because Ryan would literally need to draw an N. It can't even be a Tapu Lele, it has to be an N at this point because that Garbotoxin is active and is going to shut off the Wonder Tag ability.
So yeah, that's also what we were talking about earlier. We already mentioned Ryan playing well in a bad situation, but Todd is also playing well in a good situation, limiting Ryan's outs. And as we just saw, Ryan top deck with Ultra Ball, which is no longer an out-turn supporter.
Yeah, well, had Todd not wanted to set up a Garbotoxin, it absolutely would be because you just grab the Tapu Lele and you'd be good to go. But instead, it looks like Ryan is supposed to, he's eyeing up the Trash Avalanche Garbodor. He will be able to do a fairly decent amount of damage. Like it looks like there's quite a few items in there, not enough for the knockout, but enough to at least be a little bit threatening. But Ryan's still going to need a follow-up support. So if he doesn't get one, then yeah, I don't really see this game going well for him at all. In fact, I already don't see this game going very well for him at all.
Yeah, me neither actually. I mean, to be fair, Todd was kind of loose with his items in order to get the Garbotoxin going. But, I mean, he could afford to be because there was literally no threat from Ryan.
Yeah.
And now there is a Garbodor, but it's not doing enough damage unless he has a choice band, I think.
No, I don't think so. Oh, he does, okay.
So that should be a knockout actually.
Is it? Oh wow, there she is. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh. Wow.
It's actually a surprise knockout from Ryan here.
Yeah, that makes sense. 6 items in discard plus a choice band. It's 150, which is.
And just like that, Ryan takes the prize lead.
And it was only a knockout because of the free acid sprays in it as well, because that puts on the extra 30 he needed.
That's so funny how this works out. Actually, the problem for Todd is he has no way to knock out this Garbodor this turn. He has no Trash Launch Garbodor of his own, and the only Pokemon with damage on his board is his Drampa, so he can't attack with Berserk for 150 this turn.
That's insane!
Also, to make it even worse, Ryan drew Rainbow Energy and the Zygarde of his prizes, so he can just power up the Zygarde to knock out the Drampa later on.
Considering everything that we just said, if Ryan now pulls this back, this would be absolutely ridiculous, but amazing, ridiculous.
True.
But yeah, there it is. You see the light sound. Yeah, light sound on the Trubbish.
Todd surely doesn't want to get damaged by the Garbodor anymore.
No. And we also see a new Drampa getting benched with a fresh one with a double colours on it, and just a pass from Todd. Wow. Depending on
we'll see what Ryan can do now.
Ryan could do some stuff.
Sure.
But
now he has at least now he has a ton of time.
Yeah.
So he can just use this turn to maybe put down the Zygarde with the Rainbow and prepare for kind of a war with the Drampa.
Possibly, although it looks like he's already passed because Todd is doing stuff right now, and Ryan's just not doing anything. Yeah, I think he just drew past.
He just drew past. Okay, maybe he wasn't feeling confident enough that putting down the Zygarde was actually the best play, because if you don't draw anything, the Zygarde is just on the board waiting to be knocked out by Berserk.
Yeah, this is true.
So yeah.
Although having said that, Berserk would do a maximum of 180, and that's if Todd gets an energy and a choice band.
Yeah, but if you attach any energy to Zygarde, it's going to be the Rainbow.
Oh yes, no, it actually doesn't matter. Oh, that's really unfortunate, actually.
Yeah, true.
That's very unfortunate. Oh, there's one instance where the Rainbow actually makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's another funny thing with Pokemon recently. I'm not sure if you've experienced this, but people always talk about power creep in the game and how small amounts of damage don't matter anymore. But situations coming up like this constantly prove they actually do. Yeah, more than people think.
Yeah, we had it before with the acid spray.
Exactly.
Just doing 3 acid sprays exactly enough for the 150 follow-up.
Yep.
And now there is Rainbow Energy damages. Yeah, and that's also translates into small mistakes matter more.
Yeah,
in this format.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I actually really like it. And it looks like Todd has a lot of items in his discard pile right now, actually 8 items, while Ryan only has 2 items in his discard pile. And Todd has no way of getting out a Garbodor. A Trash Launch Garbodor, I should say.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just sort of recognising that at this point the Garbodor is a threat no matter what, so he's maybe just thinking, I'll just go full Drampa. I mean, we can see that's exactly what he's done. It's just Drampas everywhere. And
problem is now he has to deal with the bench Garbodor if he wants to do anything, because he can't just knock out the Trubbish with a Drampa, for example.
Yeah.
Because he's just in knockout range from the Trash Launch.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it, in terms of capitalizing leads, this is really not that great from Todd, because it's he's giving Ryan outs to win. He's putting lots of easy one-shot prizes on the board, especially now that there's 8 items in the discard.
Yeah.
If he could combat with his own Garbodors, then it wouldn't be so much of an issue. But in spite of Ryan's, really lackluster behind position, he's already taken 2 prizes. Taking 2 more is not an issue for him. Yeah, Ryan's actually in a really good spot.
Yeah, I think if Ryan just drew a Sycamore or something, he would actually be so favored to win. Because he can just power up multiple Garbodors and be fine.
Oh, we have a field blower, that's huge!
Yeah, so now
wow.
Probably use a Tapu Lele here. Intentionally discarded the Garbotoxin, there we go, Tapu Lele.
Wow. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, I think Ryan might actually just win this.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He can just try to string Garbodors, and if he is able to do that, he's gonna win this game. 100%.
What a comeback, Ryan Moorhouse.
Yeah, that's great.
Take a bow.
It's exactly where we feature this round.
Yeah.
Both of these players are just so great, and we see both of them just using what they have to the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, situations like these usually don't happen if both players don't know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Also, I find it hilarious that now Tord knowing he's basically Trash Lad is doing like 1 billion damage at this point.
At this point, it really doesn't matter anymore how much Trash Lad exactly does.
Yeah.
So you can just put loads of damage counters there.
Yeah, it's true. Now, it's not entirely amazing yet. He does have. He does need to draw a. Actually, no. He can draw a Floatstone or a DCE to retreat, and it looks like he's got the DCE. So yeah, that's fine. There we go. He actually does. He just kind of need another Trubbish. There you go. There's another Trubbish too. Wow. And what?
And he actually decided to bench another Drampa too. It's kind of off screen.
Oh yeah, there it is. I guess you may as well, right? There's no harm in it. And well, yeah, he has 2 Trubbish ready.
And he's already dropped onto 2 prizes.
Yeah. Wow. We said the exact same time.
So what Tord can do now is reactivate Garbotoxin and end down Ryan and knock him out with Berserk and hope that Ryan never is able to get a Trash Challenge going ever again.
Yeah. It is hard though, because Ryan needs so little. He just needs, especially without the Field Blow discarded 2 more items, he just needs an energy, like a Rainbow or a Psychic, and a Garbodor. That's all he needs at this point.
We see Tord attaching a Choice Band to Garbodor, which is really good. We've seen a lot of players yesterday just wasting their Choice Bands because they thought, I can only attach Floatstone to Garbodor, but actually Choice Band is also a tool card that activates Garbotoxin, and at this point it doesn't even matter if Ryan slices us out the Garbodor. So you'd rather just have the tool on the Garbodor and then end.
Yeah, especially because before it would be a bit of a risk because it could be, you could Lysander something with a Garbodor with like a non-Floatstone tool in it and just stall it. But now with Field Blower, you can just later on discard your own tool and then attach a Floatstone, so that's not as much of a risk anymore.
Yeah,
so yeah,
exactly.
Especially at this point, just getting the ability shut off is just way more important. Now
let's see what Ryan can muster up. Looks like he's going for a big wheel.
Yeah, which again, it makes sense, you know.
Of course. I mean, if Tord doesn't have a follow-up and this big wheel will probably win Ryan the game. I don't see how you with after 10 cards.
No, I agree. And
then again, you kind of have to assume that Tord just has another N. He plays 4N and 4 versus Seeker, just like he did in North American Intercontinental. He actually plays the exact same list again.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's unlikely that he has no N, but sometimes opponent just doesn't have the N.
Yeah.
And at this point, why wouldn't you go for a big wheel? Because you just win if your opponent doesn't have the card he needs.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that as well, but maybe it stops them from playing something like a Sycamore to dig for a Choice Band or a Lysander to take something else now. It means that they have to play the end or they probably lose.
You can't take out Rubbishes or something.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Tord must have the N. I think you would just scoop if he didn't. And it looks like he didn't. So Ryan has an Ultra Ball. He must have an energy.
Yeah. So, yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Tord didn't have the N. So
Ryan
just wins after that.
Wow.
Amazing game.
Yeah, amazing. So Ryan will go 1-0 up after that horrible start, just recovering to actually take game 1. Absolutely insane.
That's actually really interesting because the only thing you can do if your opponent dead draws is exactly what Tord did. Try to power up Garbotoxin and not play N. But if you're not playing N, you're discarding so many items that if Ryan's ever drawing anything, Garbodor is just so threatening that it might even win him the game outright, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, and actually, before I should say, the round timer seems to have disappeared, but I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll see if we can get that fixed.
Yeah, let's just look.
Roughly. So it's like 58, I guess. To try to get rough.
Yeah, okay. Now we should have approximately the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
So So 58 more minutes to go. Still plenty of time left to finish 2 games.
Indeed.
And I think this matchup kind of turned out either way. Ryan does have a little bit of an edge with the Zygarde, but actually what I found out is that if you can't really power up Zygarde fast, it's also a target for Righteous Edge. It's as we already mentioned, with the 1 damage counter from the Rainbow Energy, you can just knock it out with a Berserk for 180. So you need to really put on pressure of Zygarde, and it's not really an option for mid-game anymore. You have to really get it out in the early game, or at least when your opponent is not set up already.
Yeah, this is very true. So, here goes Tord. Looks like he's had 1 mulligan already, or is that 2? No, 1. There's 2.
Mulligan.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine because Tord is going first, so he can just N away the extra advantage potentially.
It's highly likely he plays his 4 Tapu Leles, his trademark 4 Tapu Leles, and his 4 Ns. So.
Yeah, that was another thing as well. Actually, not the Galatoxin without it. Maybe you could have drawn another Tapu Lele to get the N at the end of that last game. I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
no, but
that's true.
I mean, obviously, he still had to Galatoxin because he had to stop Ryan from having it out. But still, it's interesting to think about.
Galatoxin always works both ways.
And okay, there we go. Tord hasn't. And but he gets
shoots out a Bridget. Out of his hand.
Yeah, I guess if it's choosing 2 extra cards over a Bridget, it's fine. You know, I mean, Bridget sets you up so well that it's probably too important to not play. If that makes sense.
True.
And especially considering how excited Tord was to play, he said just sort of like fired out of a cannon.
Didn't even have to bench the Tapu Lele for that.
No.
Now you can probably just go for 2 Trubishes and a Drampa attached to the bench Drampa probably, or even the active one, because you can knock out the Trubish, but we already saw in Acid Spray last game, maybe he's afraid of Acid Spray and attaches to the bench. I think attaching to the bench is probably the better play.
Yeah, I agree entirely. So for the Bridget, Tord's opted to get looks to be 2 Trubbish and a Drampa, so Tord's still, obviously he's able to get out more Trubishes than he was last time, but he's still opting to go with this heavy Drampa focused strategy in the mirror match, which is quite interesting considering how Tord knows Ryan plays Zygarde, absolutely, because he saw it in the last game.
But you really don't have any other options. I mean, you're gonna eventually bench a Tapu Lele anyway to kind of combat the Zygarde.
Yeah.
But for now, nothing else does anything at all, really. I mean, Tapu Lele just does way too less damage, and Drampa is just a good attacker, and also in the mirror match nobody's really discarding items, so you can't use your Garbodor, so what's left, and you can't use Tapu Lele and Garbodor.
Okay, I hadn't thought about this. Is actually true. I hadn't considered this all the way through. Well then, actually Tord, he has got 3 Trubishes out as well, so he had another one in hand, so actually that's fantastic. So yeah, he's not gonna have the same issue he did last time of not having Garbodors to counter Ryan's Garbodor, so that's good for him at least. As we see there, just a rate also.
Opting to open for an Ultra Ball, is probably gonna surge out the Zygarde with this. Yeah, and he's eyeing up the Zygarde already. Now he's just making sure that he knows what's priced, which is very important. He has a little he has some tech cards, and for example cards like Drampa, where he only plays a 2 count, so he needs to check if maybe 1 is priced, because they are important in this matchup. Also he only plays maybe 3 choice band, 2 field blow, stuff like that. You could check that with the first search. Some players opt to just check the most important card, which would probably be Teammates and Drampa and Zygarde, of course.
Actually, although one thing that players were checking for, Professor Kukui, there will probably be more than a few situations that over the match where maybe something will be 20 short, so making sure you actually has access to this is probably important as well.
Like those important one-off supporters, you gotta check them with the first search. And some players even opt to check all their prize cards. We've seen players like Roscoff and do that. They're taking a long time for their first search.
At least 5 hours.
At least 5 hours. Not always. But most players just check for the most important cards and be fine with that. And we see him grab a Drampa, a Zygarde EX, attaching a Psychic Energy to that, which is actually good because now it can be just Lies in it and kill before before it actually attacks, because it still has 190 HP and there's no rainbow that limits the HP to 180, putting it in the Berserk range.
Yeah. Psychic attaching a basic Psychic to the Zygarde is really good for that exact reason. There's it makes the Righteous Edge a lot less effective, and it means that when he's ready for it, he can just attach the Rainbow, get the attack, and do Cell Storm for a KO on a Drampa, and then at that point it's gotten its value. So
that's true.
And going back to Tord's turn, it was interesting to see that Ryan, for the rest of his turn, opted to Lysander the Drampa. It does kind of make sense, I guess, because it means that it forces Tord to have an energy to attack with the Drampa straight away, and it's because it's the one with the energy on. At that point, if Tord ends up attaching DC and carrying the Trubbish, which he probably won't do because he knows that would be extremely risky. That could be good for Tord. There is a Sycamore here coming from Tord's side off of the Wonder tag. Ideally.
Also, maybe still checking for some prize cards, but finally opting to just shuffle his deck and probably go for the Sycamore. I don't assume he has a lot of items in his hand.
Yeah, I think
we saw also Ryan discarding an N. So I think Ryan still has supporter options in his hand.
Almost certainly. Yeah, almost certainly. I think the ideal turn for Tord right here would be to get a Float Stone so he can retrieve that Garbodor. Then promote something else with an energy and do like Tapu Lele, for example.
Now he actually decides to attach to the Tapu Lele rather than the Drampa. Surely this is to combat the Zygarde somehow, because if you get the first hit in on Zygarde with Tapu Lele, you're gonna be knocking out the Zygarde first before it does anything big, and Zygarde can only two-shot a Tapu Lele.
Yeah.
So it's surely the better attacker against Zygarde here.
Not only that, but if this active Drampa goes down, then putting the Rainbow on the Tapu Lele, Tord has damage on a bench Pokemon to do more with Berserk as well. So that could be important.
Energy attachments are really important.
Yeah. And then not only that, but because of course it's a Rainbow energy, it means that Tord could use Tapu Cure at some point. It's not the GX attack we always see being used, but sometimes it can be really effective.
Although, he does play Psychic Energy anyway, so Tapu Cure is always an option.
This is true.
But we just see Ryan going for Buster Seeker for N. And so he did have that.
And he has a Rainbow on the Float Stone as well. That's the KO guaranteed.
Yeah. Now we see why he also licensed the Drampa last turn, because now the Drampa with the energy is in the active. It can't retreat because that's not an DCE. Tord was just forced to pass with the Zygarde active. Or maybe he used Big Wheel. Did he use Big Wheel or did he not?
I'm not sure.
I think he just passed right now because his hand was fine, and you don't want to attack into Trubbishes because that's just damage on your opponent's board that you can later on use with the Drampa.
Yeah, it is. In fact, you know what? I think I know why Tord didn't use Big Wheel. I think because the Orion Ultra all the way to the end, he assumed that Ryan would have the Burst Seeker in hand and end it away.
Yeah, so that would just be a wasted Big Wheel.
Yeah.
So it makes absolutely sense.
That's again, really clever, actually.
Yeah.
But
really clever. Those little things add up so much.
But unfortunately, not clever enough to counteract this Zygarde doing 180.
Yeah, Lysander on the Drampa was really good. It kind of forced a Float Stone out of Tord, but there was none, so yeah.
So now he just gets to take out. He just gets to take out the Drampa with the energy. He does Cell Storm. He also 10 damage from the Rainbow energy, so now the Berserk doesn't even one shot, and already Ryan is steaming ahead in this game again.
Now we have the Tapu Lele to kind of deal with the Zygarde a little bit, but the Zygarde just gives Ryan enough time and a price advantage, so even if the Tapu Lele eventually knocks out the Zygarde, Ryan will be at the advantage because he probably can knock out the Tapu Lele right back afterwards and keep price advantage and also advantage on the board position, because first of all, Ryan has to commit energies to the Tapu Lele that is just putting active, so he can't really power up anything else in the next turn. Yeah,
this is true. But not only, but the other thing from Ryan's perspective though is that we know that he has a Lysander and discard power because he's used it. So there's going to be an N here, but he's being N to 4. It's not extremely unlikely that Ryan draws his second Lysander. Or how many Lysanders does he play, Ryan? Is it 2 or 3?
I think he's only playing 2 because he plays a lot of tech supporters as well, so he has to cut down on Lysanders.
Okay, but still, so he has 2 Lysander and he's use one Versus Seeker, so he can draw one of his remaining 3 Versus Seekers, or his second Lysander, assuming none of it's prized, and then he just takes another one shot on a Drampa.
Things like Ultra Ball for Tapu Lele are
Yeah,
also out.
exactly. Unless Tord gets a Floatstone Garbodor in here.
I think as long as he can attach an energy while he plays the Lysander, he keeps the board advantage. So if he can do that, Ryan's quite favored to win this game again.
It's really, this end's going to be big basically. I think this end will probably determine who wins this game ultimately.
Yeah, it will surely have a huge impact in the game.
There's, what was that, 2 Psychic Energies?
Yeah,
something.
Psychic Energy.
Oh, there's
versus
Whoa.
So if Ryan chooses to do that, he can just take 2 more prizes next turn by knocking out Drampa off towards bench.
And he has, in fact, that's exactly what he needed, a Versus Seeker Energy. So then, it's like you said, he can take the knockout.
It would be reasonable to do that.
Yeah.
And also, he could be end down, but he still has his big wheel left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah, wow, then there it is. That's the last thing told to see. Lysander on the Drampa.
I mean, Lysander on Drampa is greedy, but it's just too good to pass out.
Yeah, it's the kind of situation where, so sometimes it's like we were saying before, Philip, that overextending and being greedy is really not good. But in this situation, because you have the adequate preparation to, make it worthwhile, you have the energy on the Drampa, and you're going so far ahead, it's worth doing. And also, like you said, big wheel still available.
Yeah. Also, I think if you're taught, you still have to commit energies if you actually want to knock out that Zygarde.
Yes, because of the Cellstorm healing.
Yeah, the Cellstorm healing is actually so huge. Zygarde has 140 HP left now, and as of now, Tapu Lele is only dealing 80 damage. So I think you'd need
Choice Band and DCE.
Choice Band and DCE, right?
Wow.
That's a lot to ask for.
Wow.
There's also no way to knock out the Zygarde with the Garbodor. There are only 4 items in Ryan's discard pile.
Zygarde EX right now just showing how strong it is in the mirror right now. It's
absolutely winning toward Ryan this match right now.
Yeah.
There are still comeback options for Todd.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the one in terms of mitigation options for Ryan, the one thing that he wasn't able to do is get a Tapu Lele down. That could have potentially been really huge because there's sorry, I just seen someone holding something up. There's because if Ryan was able to get a Tapu Lele down, then if Tord attaches extra energy to his Lele, then Ryan could just attach the DC to his own Lele or just to Revenge KO for the win. But instead, he's going to have to rely on getting. He'd have to get a DC Choice Band, but that wouldn't be enough because there's no damage on any of Ryan's stuff on the bench. So yeah, no, that's not a bit of a problem actually. He needs to really find a Tapu Lele if he wants to sort of win next turn, assuming this Zygarde gets knocked out, which actually we don't even know if that's going to happen yet.
Yeah, I mean, of course Ryan doesn't really need to win this turn. And while we're talking, actually we're seeing Tord using Tapu Lele for teammates, Tapu Lele again being great.
Yeah.
No wonder he plays for teammates, also one of the important cards. Now he can just search exactly what he needs to knock out the Zygarde this turn, which is really important. You don't want to have Zygarde, let Zygarde get one more attack in to soften up your EX Pokemon.
Yes,
so there we go, DC Choice Band for the knockout.
That will do it.
Yeah, I mean Ryan's not in the bad spot at all.
No,
he can just maybe use attach to Drampa and discard a DCE, or to attach to another Drampa even. If he can do that, that would be good.
I'm trying to think what he'd need in terms of, because that Lele's got no DC Choice Band wouldn't be enough because that would be doing 130.
I don't think he can win this turn anyway.
No.
So I think what he would be fine with is just maybe there are more items than expected, but not enough.
No. Maybe just Big Wheel. Oh, that's a Lele.
Yeah, there's a Lele. What he could do is try to get another Drampa, attach to that Drampa, and use the other Drampa to ride his edge of the DCE.
Oh yeah, that would be really big actually.
I mean, if you're Ryan, if you're Tord, you can't knock out the Drampa at this point, and softening up a Drampa if there's a Drampa with an energy on the bench for Ryan is really not optimal. So it kind of forces the Tapu Lele to retreat if Ryan is able to do that.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Yeah, second Drampa with an energy on plus a big wheel. That's just again it forces Tord to have an N, and if he doesn't, he probably just loses there. That would be good. And then there's Professor Kukui. Whoa, that's interesting.
So Kukui, I think even with the Kukui, he's still out of range even with the Garbodor and the Choice Band.
Ah, that's a shame.
But for now he's fine, just Righteous Edge.
You Righteous Edge for 70.
Righteous Edge for 70 is actually so great.
Ridiculously great.
He could just attach to a Tapu Lele now, or to basically anything. I mean, you're even fine attaching to a Drampa now. Tapu Lele is never getting enough energies to knock out a Drampa in one hit at that point. It's choosing to attach to the Garbodor, that's fine. There are already 5 items in the discard pile, and it's very likely that Toad will be attacking with Garbodor next turn, because there are no real other viable attackers. You don't want to attack with the active Tapu Lele, that's just going to get knocked out. The bench Tapu Lele doesn't pose a huge threat to Ryan either, and there are no Garbodors with no Drampas with energy, so probably his best option is still to attack with Garbodor, and Ryan is already preparing for that by attaching to the Trubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
So, great players from Ryan.
Yeah, again, this is Toad right now needs to do is just tread very, very carefully. Like, he knows he's on the edge right now, and he knows that he just needs to make sure that you can somehow deal with all the threats that are coming his way. But it might just be the case that there's too many threats for him to deal with at this point. There's that Lele is not sitting pretty on only 2 energy, 80 damage already on it. Literally just a choice band. Like, even if this Drampa somehow gets KO'd this turn, choice band DC on Lele gets the return KO, and or Garbodor, like I said, because there's 5 items in the discard already, so that's 100 exactly enough.
And the thing to think about is, actually this all comes back to Ryan being able to put on pressure with Zygarde, because it forced Todd into this awkward situation of having to attack with Tapu Lele, which is not the preferred attack in this matchup.
No, absolutely not.
You don't have anything else to deal with Zygarde, so Todd was kind of forced in an awkward position, and this is exactly what Ryan wants to do.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And there is an N here, but it's only to 2. I mean, obviously it's still a low number, but it's not the feared N to 1 that so many players end up losing to, because unlike an N to 1, you can still get an Ultra Ball off an N to 2 to discard and then get attacked with Lele, so it's nowhere near as scary.
True.
And I didn't see what he drew, but
I don't think Todd drew another energy to attach.
Wow.
That would be crushing.
That would be.
He really needs an energy.
Yeah.
Whiffing attachments in the mirror match just puts you at a huge disadvantage.
Basically, that's how you lose the game.
Yeah, I would even say if your opponent is able to attach every turn and you miss like 1 or 2 energy attachments, you're very unlikely to win the game, unless you end on your opponent and they do nothing. Yeah,
pretty much. We do see Todd now has 2 Garbodors ready to go. He has to, at this point, discard the Rainbow, retreat the attack with Lele. He's going to bring up the Garbodor, but does he have an energy to even attack with? No, it looks like no.
That has to be frustrating, yeah.
Extremely frustrating.
And actually, Ryan can just attach to the Drampa and take a knockout on Garbodor with Berserk if he wants to do that. That would be a good play. He could also... I mean, he has no immediate retreat options.
You can't knock out with Berserk, there's no DC, there's only a Psychic Energy on there.
I know he could attach a DC, but then knock out with Berserk. He has attachment left for the turn, so that's an option. But we see him playing a Bridget, so he doesn't have game now.
No. Playing Bridget for nothing.
He has only a Rainbow Energy. However, attaching Rainbow Energies to Troublishes is perfectly fine. Yeah. I mean, you have the advantage. You don't need to put in pressure. You have to make Todd come up with something big to even out this game. I mean,
exactly. And of course now we do see the big wheel as well. So
so he's kind of forcing an N again. And if Todd doesn't have the N now, I think Ryan is just flat out.
And is that literally Todd's only card? Oh no, his hand is pretty big. I thought he only had like 1 card in hand.
He had to have drawn 4 cards of the end, then he
drew a turn.
I didn't even think he played a card after the end. So depends on if he has an end. Okay, at least he has an end, so he won't lose next turn.
No.
So a little more time.
Still not an ideal place to be in by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all. So let's think about what can Todd actually do here, because there has to be some way to go into it.
So there's 5 items in Ryan's discard. It's the end of the die, right? So you can do 100 with a Garbodor. It's not great.
But at least it's softening up the Drampa, and then the moment he knocks out the Drampa, this Garbodor is just getting knocked out by another Garbodor from Ryan's bench.
Yeah, there's a Rainbow Energy, so yeah, he will actually at least be able to attack this turn, and that is going to be doing.
What he has to basically has to hope for that Todd doesn't draw a DCE this turn and no Garbodor.
Yeah.
Because you actually need to license the Garbodor next turn, I believe. If Todd has a DCE.
Oh, he got a Sycamore.
Yeah, he got a Sycamore. That's probably game. He needs a DCE, either a DCE or a Garbodor to basically remove any chance of Todd winning this game, other than maybe license.
Yeah. It looks like he said he drew a Psychic Energy, so he can attach manually to the Drampa, retreat to the Garbodor, and then knock out towards Garbodor, at which point, again, like, Todd is not really left with much.
I mean, then Todd can just end Ryan down, knock out the Garbodor, and just hope there's no Garbodor left for Ryan.
Yeah, potentially.
But what I was trying to say before, if Ryan drew a DCE right now, he would just knock out the Garbodor, and Todd can knock out the Drampa because the Garbodor's going to come up and clean up, but he can also license the Garbodor because there's another Trubbish with another damage counter, so
exactly.
Knockout, so either DCE or another Garbodor to evolve the other Trubbish with the energy would have been game right there. Ryan seems to want to take the prize right now.
I think it's less about just taking the prize and more. Oh no, I was going to say it takes the only attacking threat off the board, but no, he does have a. Is that a Trubbish or no? It's a Trubbish. It's not a Psychic Energy. So actually, Todd doesn't have anything to attack.
He needs a Psychic Energy or a Rainbow Energy plus an N to really stay in this game.
Yeah.
So Ryan's still forcing Todd to have cards in his hand. Cards, and it's also really great because
there's Garbotoxin as well.
There's Garbotoxin as well. So if Todd doesn't have N or Versasika in hand, he won't get to play an N next turn. Yeah. Otherwise, he could have just searched it with Capillary.
And there's again Ryan N-proofing himself more as well, just attaching stuff like attaching extra float stone. And taking the one prize. We didn't get to see what it was, unfortunately. We don't have the prize cam technology on the stream, sadly.
No, sadly we don't. Yeah. But actually, I've seen crazier things happen than Todd coming back this game. Actually, I've made crazier comebacks than Todd. You just have to end your opponent down, and sometimes they just draw nothing. Yeah. And it's happened to me so many times, at least to my opponents, fortunately for me.
Wow. There's a field blur from Todd. He's going to be able to discard some float stones. Or he's just trying to. It's interesting not to discard the one on the Garbodor, but maybe he's thinking that if I whoa, it's a Sycamore.
No Sycamore.
Is that it then?
That's probably it. I mean, you have to assume that Ryan at least has another Sycamore to ensure a Garbodor.
Oh yeah, because literally all he needs at this point is a Garb. So yeah, there's the attack. And he brings that up. Teammates
and that
search the Garb, and then we'll say Rescue Stretcher as well, as if it really matters. Yeah, but no, that's it. Shake the hand, and Ryan Moorhouse will win in top 8.
That was actually a pretty convincing win from Ryan. I didn't expect that. I mean, Todd is our North American international champion from Europe, and he was just defeated by Ryan like it's nothing. It felt really easy for Ryan. He was always at the advantage. Even when he dead drew, he still won that game because he was able to draw into Garbodors and just overpower Todd.
Yeah, and especially in game 2, Zygarde. That was
Zygarde put in so much work. It seems like Zygarde is a really viable mirror attack if you are able to power it up in the first few turns.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's an insanely impressive performance from Ryan there. He will be moving on to top 4. I don't think we quite know who he's going to be facing yet, but of course as soon as we do know, we will find out and let you know.
He could either be facing Carl Peters or Mark Lutz. Mark's playing the Sidroy Vileplume and Carl is playing his Ninetales deck. So Carl should be favored in this matchup. Carl, as we know, is playing 4 rough seas, which is going to pose a problem for Mark, for sure.
A little bit.
We'll see who wins that game and moves on to face Ryan Morris in the top 4. Wow, great games.
Great games, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed those as much as we did. We are going to take a quick break until the topic is over, but until then, don't go away.